Welcome back to the Graduate School's video tutorials related to the preparation of theses, dissertations, and synthesis projects. One of the questions we get asked a lot is just what exactly is the final printed version of your document required to have? So this video is just going to take you through the general list of all of the things that you need to have included in your final print copy of your project, as well as a sample sense of the front matter that you'll need to have as well. So again, returning to that document I listed in the general overview and introduction to the graduate school guidelines. If you look on page 6, there's a list here that's very, very helpful of all of the material that you should include in your final document. This comes right after the list of all of the various formatting requirements. So first thing you need is the preliminary material. That's right here. You need the title page, the copyright, and the approval page. These three items are all requirements of your document, and I'm going to show you a couple of samples in just a minute. After that, you have an optional dedication and epigraph if you want to dedicate your work to somebody who has been particularly useful to your process, whether that be your committee member, your family, or whoever else may have played a significant role in the completion of this momentous achievement. You might also choose to include an epigraph. Also, you can have an acknowledgments page, which can sometimes be combined with the preface. That's just up to you, however you want to format that. A required page is your table of contents. Again, there are samples included in this document, and I'll show you that at the end of this video. If it's applicable, you need a list of tables. If there's any figures or illustrations, you need to include those as well. And then a list of abbreviations in the text or notes, again, if applicable. There is a video that we've created to show you how to correctly format your table of contents and your list of tables and figures. This is often one of the most common mistakes that we see people make in our editing process. It's a little bit tricky to get the dot leaders set for your table of contents and your list of tables and figures. However, once you know the process, it's actually quite simple to make that correct and make it align with the proper margins. So make sure you take a look at that video if you're not quite sure how to format those tables. If applicable, you need a preliminary note regarding the conventions about your transliteration, mathematical symbols, or ancient place names, or anything else that's appropriate to your project. You may also choose to include a foreword and a preface or prologue. As far as the body of your paper, the main content of your document, you'll have the introduction, which may or may not be included as chapter 1, and then the various chapters of your project. Finally, the reference and supplemental materials, you may choose to include endnotes, a bibliography. You may have an appendix or appendices depending on what project you're doing. You must include an abstract and a biographical sketch. Again, very frequently we see people forget these two items right here, the abstract and biographical sketch. Your document will be sent back to you if you do not include those two documents, and luckily for you, we do include samples of those. So let's go look at those samples very quickly. First thing I want to do is take a look at the sample front matter material. So you'll scroll down all the way to the end of the document. Again, there's lots of useful information here that you're going to want to take a look at just to save yourself some time at the end. Also, just as a quick note, a final checklist for submission is very, very helpful, so make sure you go through that. So this is going to be the first page of your document. This is your title page. This must be included, and we are very strict about the formatting guidelines for this, so please make sure you've checked this over very, very carefully before you submit. If we notice anything amiss with this page, we will send it back to you very, very quickly, and you will have to reformat. So as our title suggests here, an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure, traditional words of wisdom. So you're going to start with a blank page, and you're going to scroll down 6 single-spaced lines to begin the title of your thesis. Notice that your title is single-spaced here. Please do not double-space this title. After your title, you're going to scroll down 8 single-space lines and begin the next section. Just as a word of caution, some people don't need this, but better to be safe than sorry. Anything that you see bracketed on a sample page is not to actually be included on your final document as well. These are just guidelines and notes to help you understand exactly what's going on. So after you scroll down 8 single-space lines, you're going to write the next section, which is the general information about what type of project you're submitting, what degree you are pursuing. So this is a sample title page for a thesis. So it's a thesis presented to the graduate faculty of the University of Louisiana at Lafayette in partial fulfillment of the requirements for the degree Master of Arts. And then you'll scroll down 8 single-space lines, and this will be your name, and then the semester and the year in which you are graduating. So here's a little helpful note. The words in brackets, again, as I said before, should not appear on your copy, and depending upon the length of the title, the number of lines between the title and the next section on the page may require adjustment. So I would encourage you to refer to the official titles of graduate degrees with a thesis, dissertation, or synthesis project option offered at UL Lafayette on page 17 to determine which degree title is accurate for you. Make sure you look at that page to help you out. That's very helpful. If you're writing a dissertation, on the very next page is a sample dissertation page, and then we move on to the sample copyright page. You're going to scroll down 32 single-space lines to begin this page, and in order to achieve this symbol, the copyright symbol here, you're going to do an open parentheses, a C, and then a close parentheses, and that'll give you the copyright page. After you finish that, you need to move on to your approval page. Now, one of the things that the graduate school has provided for project submissions is actually a template that is available on our graduate school website for your approval page based on the number of committees that you have. So please take a look at that. It'll save you some formatting time. But again, you can look here for all of the details about how to achieve your appropriate approval page. And then finally, we have a sample table of contents. There's another video that's going to be posted on our playlist that explains exactly how to format the table of contents because it can be a little bit tricky, but do review this. There's a couple of options that you have for your sample or for your table of contents. This is one option, this is another, and then here are a couple of samples for your list of tables and your list of abbreviations. And then finally, as far as the extra material goes beyond your actual project itself, you must include an extended heading at the end of your body text of your project. And the extended heading should come immediately before the abstract, and yours should look exactly like this page. Again, do not include the material that's bracketed or these little asterisks here. These are just meant to help you. So the formatting should appear exactly like the formatting you see here. And then here's a sample for a dissertation. Now your abstract for thesis writers should be limited to 300 words, and for dissertation writers should be limited to 350 words, both of which should be double spaced. So this is just a general overview of the material, that sort of extracurricular material to include outside of the main body of your project. So hopefully this was helpful to you, and take a look at our other videos for more help on formatting. It is worth noting, by the way, that we offer office hours with one of our graduate school editors. If you're really struggling and you want some one-on-one help, we have a graduate school editor who will be in the computer labs around campus, various ones throughout the semester. So please contact the graduate school for more information on that resource.